All right, I'm here this morning to offload a 22-foot trip angler from the trailer here. Now, it's kind of a ticklish situation for a lot of people, but I've had quite a bit of boat moving experience in years past, and we're going to make it look as easy as we can and do it as safely as we can. We decided to pull the trailer out from underneath it because we're prepping the boat up for a good paint job that it hasn't had in a while. So I'm going to go about it in my own way and show you how it's done, with a couple of poppet stands and some jacks and some blocks, and we'll have her out of there in no time. All right, the first thing I've done is set a couple of poppet stands here back aft. Now I've jacked them up a little bit with some wood here just to get a little bit of extra height out of them and create a little bit of extra bearing on the ground, because I don't want them rolling around or moving here. And we're actually going to use these poppet stands to jack the stern end of the boat up in the air a little bit. We have to get the boat a little bit higher to get these timbers here to clear as we pull the trailer out. So we're going to pull it up with these two stands at the same time, and I would never do one stand at a time because the boat could slide off the stands, and that's happened recently in a boatyard. So we're going to try to do it as safely as we can, and as I push it up, I'm going to be actually building some blocking underneath the strut just forward of the prop here to support it for safety, and we're actually going to let the weight down on that set of blocks and just have these be stability and not holding the boat up. Got the poppet stands very close to the stern end of the boat because the hull is quite a bit stronger, supported by the shape of the hull right here in this area. Some of these boats, if you move down a little bit forward, they're going to be a little punky. We wouldn't want to push on it there, so we're pushing on it at its strongest position, and we're going to get it up some, and then we're going to build a little row of blocks underneath the strut there for safety. So let's go ahead and spin it right up there, like half turns at a time, you know what I mean? Right? Half, keep going. Jacked it up a little bit, and we've got a little bit more to go. So we've kept up with it with some blocking on the center line here. I'm going to go up a little bit more and then maybe add a 2x to that, and that'll be about it. Place the jack up forward under the keel up against the after side of this barra in the trailer, and we've jacked it up one full stroke of the cylinder, and we've now got the weight of the boat on the jack completely, and there's nothing bearing on the trailer. So the next move is to pull the trailer out a little bit until the jack is very close to this cross member right here, and then we're going to place the jack again, or another jack, and do it again. All right, the truck driver's got his foot on the brake. I can see the brake lights right there in the back of the truck, so I'm ready to pull a block out now. The trailer's ready to go forward. So you can go right ahead and you start moving. You like so. Slow, 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 slow. Right there. Okay, so now I have brought the trailer up till the cross member is up very close to the jack. I've got this jack fully extended. I've placed the jack on the other side of the cross member on a little bit higher block, so we'd have some reserve cylinder left if we want to go up any higher. And now I've jacked it up until I've got the weight on that jack. Now I can remove this jack, and the move now is to have the truck driver pull the trailer up until the first axle comes up to the jack, and we're going to stop right there. Before we started this operation, we backed the truck and the trailer up quite a bit further aft than this, and then pulled it forward nice and straight. And the wheels of the truck are nice and straight, and the trailer and the truck are straight with each other, so that as we pull it out, we won't have like this little barra right here encroaching on the keel or rubbing in any way. We have to be very careful now as we pull the truck forward that we don't go too far or we don't go sideways or anything like that. We're going to be watching the boat very carefully. Each time we move the truck and trailer, we go back around and look at all the stands and blocks and different things to make sure they're all sharing the load properly. All right, we're being very careful back aft here as we jack the bow end of the boat up, that the weight doesn't get transferred too much to the stands, because the blocking is a little bit ahead of the stand. So as you jack the bow end up, it gets a little bit tighter on the stands, and we just come back and loosen the stands up a little bit. And the idea is to keep it evenly distributed on these 3 points right here, the blocking carrying most of the load and the stands for stability only. We've got it on one jack up forward, and it's clear of the trailer. I'm looking around and I can see that it should pull out all the way out after jacking it 1 to 2 more times. I've put a couple of stands in it just ahead of these stands just for a little safety's sake. And we're going to leave those in there as we move the trailer forward. Now, we're going to pull the trailer up to the jack one more time and jack aft of this member, and the trailer will be out. It's going to come off the other jack. This row of blocking right here is forward enough on this boat to carry the whole forward end of it. We've also moved the stands forward and tightened those up, and I actually pushed the bow of the boat up a little tiny bit with those stands placed on an angle to fit that last block in there, and it's now sharing the load, all three of these, and we're just about to pull the boat all the way out. Now you can see that the trailer is just barely touching the boat here. It actually moves here, so it'll come out nicely, but after we get it out, we're going to jack it up a tiny bit more, so when we back it back in again, we won't have any of this contact. All right, we've accomplished the task. We've got the trailer out from underneath. We're just about ready to prep the whole bottom for painting. We're gonna sand it and paint it. And I've left the boat on 3 rows of blocks here, nice and stable, and 4 poppet stands. Now, it's perfectly safe to board. I've tipped the poppet stands a little bit towards the inboard so that they wouldn't spit out or slide along the hull. They can be removed individually to paint underneath them and placed back in position. Nice and tight. Just right. All set.